Picky Packrats is a quick, light, tactical, small deck card game for 1 to 3 players. New and experienced players can play in the same game. Please watch the How to Play video for a complete description of the game and rules. This video is a quick overview. Picky Packrats is available from thegamecrafter.com. In the game, you are a pack rat collecting treasures and arranging them in your midden, which is your nest, to make it as neat as possible. A nest is neat if it has sets of the same number and collections of the same color. You compete against the other player pack rats to build the neatest nest. Messy treasures in your nest score points, so the player with the fewest points wins. In the solo variant, you play against the bot player Robo-Rat. The solo game is explained in a separate video that includes a complete playthrough. Now let's look at the components. The components of the deluxe version are an attractive stout box, which I will show in the final version of this video, a rule book like you see here, and the final version also includes a separate rule book for the solo game. 3 player aids, which have 2 sides, a setup side, which shows how to set up the game, and a player turn side, which shows how to take your turn and has a little scorecard. A dry erase pen, 30 cement tokens, and the final version includes tokens that are a little bit bigger than this, and the sides are a little more clear as to what they do. There are also 33 treasure cards, 5 of which are these wilds, and then 7 cards of 4 different colors, numbered 0 through 6, each with a different item on it. All the zeros have the same item. All the ones have the same item. In a 2-player game, you use just 3 of the wilds and 3 of the colors. So I'll set aside the rest of the components and set up a 2-player game. Each player starts with 1 wild and 5 hidden treasures. The face-down treasures are called hidden. Each player begins by shuffling in that wild card into their deck. The remaining cards are made into a deck, and 3 cards are turned face up in the center of the table. Beginning with the first player, the players take turns taking one of the treasures from the center, which we call the house, and adding it to their hand face up. So let's say player 1 over here takes this one, and then a new card is revealed to replace that one. Players continue until each has drafted 3 cards from the house. The remaining 3 cards that are face up stay in the center as the house. The 3 cards that have not been revealed are taken out of the game so that not all of the cards are known. You then arrange your cards into your nest, which is a 3x3 grid of cards. Remember that you're trying to make sets of the same number in lines of 3, or of the same color in lines of 3. So you might arrange your cards so that you start off with a good starting point. I've moved the house to the top here so it's not confusing as to where those cards belong. Anytime that you're moving your cards around, unless you're using a specific action to do it, you don't get a peek at the card. If they're face down, they stay face down. If they're face up, they stay face up. Players then take turns doing any 2 of the following actions, and you can do the same action twice if you want. You can peek at a card, one of your cards, or you can, so that only you see it, or you can turn it over and reveal it so everybody can see it. There's a reason why you might want to reveal it, and there's also a reason why you might want to conceal it. A wild card is a nice card, so I might want to keep that hidden at this time. You don't need to decide whether you're going to peek at it or reveal it until you actually peek at the card. Then you can decide what to do with it then. Another action you can do is conceal a card that's already face up and do the action, the ability that's described on the card. And we'll go through the abilities in the How to Play video. But basically, the abilities allow you to move cards around within your own midden, between your midden and somebody else's, or between your midden and the house, or to peek and look at more cards. Another action you can do is conceal a pair of cards. So I have 2 5s here. I can conceal both of those at the same time to perform any action that's available on the board, any ability. So whether it's in the house or another player's midden. If I don't have it, I might do that to use somebody else's ability. Finally, you can cement down a card so that it cannot be used by anybody, moved or used, including yourself. So I've locked those down. Maybe I have another 5 under here or the wild, and so I'm happy with this, so I don't want someone to mess with it. When cementing cards, you can cement a single card or any line of 3 cards. So I could do that as well. I can't do 2 cards. I can only do 1 or a line of 3. The game ends when one player has cemented all of their cards down. Then each of the other players get one more action before we go to scoring. For scoring, I'm going to concentrate on the player on the left. You see that this player has cemented all of their cards down, so the end of the game has started. To begin scoring, the player removes all of their tokens and reveals all of their cards. Now let's score the player on the left. I've cheated a little bit here, moving the cards around so that I can demonstrate some of the different scoring options. First, you want to score the sets, and so that's any line of 3 cards with the same number. The cement tokens are handy now to indicate which cards have been used. So this line of 5s of necklaces, those are make a set, and using the wilds, I can make a set with the 2 here. A wild can be any color or number that it needs to be when scoring any different line. So in this case, it's a 5, but in this case, this is a 2. You just use them however you need to for each line. There's also a line here of 6s. That concludes what I can do with the sets. The cards that are not part of a set score against me. So in this case, I have a 3 and a 4. I have 7 points against me. Now we look for color collections. Here I have 3 blues. Here I have 3 blues. Here I have 3 greens. And here I have 3 blues. You score -1 point for each card in a collection. And the same card may score multiple times. So it's -1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have -12 plus the 7 that I scored for singles. That makes a -5. Negative scores are common in this game. If I had a wild card that I didn't use in a set or a collection, then it would score 5 points against me. I can use a dry erase pen to mark my score on the player aid, and then players compare scores. The lowest score wins. Since this is a light, quick card game, we recommend playing a best-of-3 tournament. That's all there is to the Picky Packrats card game. I hope you enjoy it.